Welcome to our voices. I have a special guest with me. She is Miss Kasha Snyder McDonald, and she is a member of the, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, the LBGTQ community.
Correct.
As well as transgender community, correct?
Correct.
All right, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing fine, Hey, thank you for coming on the show. And again, I do appreciate your time in doing this. There's a big topic that's going on right now, and of course, it's about comedian Dave Chappelle. He recently came out with his new show on Netflix called The Closer. And in that, in his skit, he basically said some bad things about the LBGTQ community and transgender community, and which sparked a lot of backlash. A good friend of mine on social media basically said he hoped he die in pain, things like that. So I have yet to see it, but I want to get your views on it, as well as we're going to talk about some other things. But
Okay.
before I go to my first question, Kasha, please tell the audience something about Kasha.
Well, I'm Kasha Snyder McDonald. I currently am an intern with West Virginia Free, which is a company that um, we support reproductive justice and radical justice and women's rights and such as, and just a whole bunch of other different equal rights as well. I'm also a member of the LGBTQ plus community, like you said. I'm also a member of the Mayor's Workforce Group. I work at Lee Street Lounge as well, and I'm always a big member and a part of Rainbow Pride of West Virginia. So I am throughout West Virginia, and hopefully soon one day I'll be running for city council. That's another story we can talk about.
So we're gonna talk about that later, okay? About running for city council. All right.
Okay.
So you with West Virginia Free, you with Rainbow Pride, you mayors, so you just stay busy.
I stay busy. I do. I like to be the voice for those who don't have one.
Mhm.
But I do.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Kasha, have you seen the closer, Dave Chappelle's show?
I seen the clip. I went back and I watched it. I watched it several different times. Then I watched several different people's views about it, from GMA to ET, Entertainment Television, to some Ricky Smiley morning show to see what they said, and a lot of people have a lot of different views, of course. But when it comes to Dave Chappelle, for one, I like Dave Chappelle. Well, let's get this straight. I like Dave Chappelle when Dave Chappelle isn't showing his ass or being ignorant. I take offense to it just for the simple fact that, I'm a part of this community and we have enough people fighting against us. We don't need our own people fighting against us too. There's a lot of things going on in the Black trans community, and for Dave Chappelle to just stand in arms with what is his name, Bootsy. I really don't like him, so I really don't try to know who he is. But Bootsy Badass or whatever. They stand in arms together with this hatred or this disgust for the transgender community, but their jokes and their comments that they make sell records and different things. And his comedy sketches, I don't think he would be as funny if he didn't talk about gay people and lesbians and stuff like that. So the whole Dave Chappelle thing, it just depends on who you're asking. I think he's wrong, but of course, if I go to some people in my community talking about the Black community, they would definitely disagree, because Black people don't stand together unless somebody's fighting us, and then unless white people are fighting us.
So it did cause some backlash from the community because of what he said. How far has the LBGT, as you say, the LBGTQ plus community have taken as far as the backlash towards Dave Chappelle?
I mean, it's just always another step back. Just when we think that we're moving forward and we're thinking that we have somebody who gets on his comedy show and promotes that he don't care what nobody does, but then goes back and contradicts himself by making fun of other people. Yes, it is one thing. We've all played the dozens. We've all done it, and some of our white viewers might not know what the dozens is, but it's cutting down each other and, having little cut down fights, and it's okay. We might have always your mama jokes and all that, and that's fine. But there comes a limit where it seems like you're attacking and not just attacking. The attacking sounds like there's violence or malice behind it. So it's different from a joke, because you can say a joke and let it be a joke, but then some of your jokes that land make other people want to fight. Look at the transgendered women that were walking outside in LA and just got got into a fight just because they were walking. Look at all the Black transgender women that have been killed that we don't talk about. Look at all the Black transgender women that are afraid to move in Charleston. I'm not the only one. There are several of them, but I'm the only one that actually moves around in Charleston because I'm not afraid of anyone. Because at the end of the day, like I tell all my Black people, I am Black before I'm transgender. And my people need to realize that.
All right. Now, Kasha, as a fan of comedy, especially Dave Chappelle, you know, his rise to fame wasn't from Chappelle's show. It was before Chappelle's show. But when Chappelle's show came, what's that?
I watched plenty of Dave Chappelle's shows, his movies, the things he's been in. Every time he's into something, he makes his fame from laughing at other people, from making fun of others.
But you know what? But what's so interesting is Dave Chappelle has really pushed the envelope. He really has, and the last comedian that has come close to what Chappelle is doing was Richard Pryor. Okay, now I like Chappelle. I like some of his comedy. Does he push the envelope? Oh, most definitely, most definitely. And again, this episode will be a two-parter because I'm also going to interview a comedian. And we'll get their opinion from this standpoint. So, not to take anything away from what you're saying. Again, I hope that your voice, as well as the comedian's voice, will tie everything together, and again create some dialogue to say, okay, this could be a better way to go about, you know, this is wrong, things like that. This will create some dialogue, is what I'm trying to say. So Chappelle's show has always been this way. Is there hatred now, or are you saying, okay, I still like you, Chappelle, but you're out of bounds on what you said?
Yes, there's always going to. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I did like Dave Chappelle, and I know that there's always going to have to be that kind of a balance. But at a day and time where transgender lives are being threatened and Black transgender lives are being threatened, I think it's very tasteless, the comments that come out of his mouth. There are a lot of things that, define you as a woman. And just because you can push a baby out between your legs doesn't necessarily define you as a woman. Because there's a lot of women that can't push babies out of their legs, and they're looking at Dave Chappelle and thinking they're not even gay. Pardon me. But that's how far it goes. It's the offense that you just keep going. It's like you're taking jabs at women, and it's disgusting. And then people have to see that. You're taking jabs. What if you have a sister or a cousin who can't have a baby, and you're sitting here telling her pretty much that she's not a woman because she can't push a kid out between her legs? Dave Chappelle is wrong, and he needs to own up to the fact that he knows he's wrong, and he does need an apology. They're canceling out so many people for so many of the wrong things. Like Jesse Smollett, I think he should not have been canceled, but people like Dave Chappelle should be. What he did is hurtful. What Jesse Smollett did isn't.
Kasha, you said that there are other issues that's going on in the Black LBGTQ community. Something far more greater. Greater than what Dave Chappelle has said, and that's your safety and well-being. Okay. Again, I'm kind of torn about this. And again, I read the paper last week 2 women were killed. Is that something that you want to speak on about that?
It's just a never ending. It's never ending. It's never ending. Like when people here in West Virginia, they don't see that. They take off of what other people say, and they start this whole agenda of not caring about the other Black people. These lesbian girls that got killed, they're still Black. And, you know, that's another thing. It's okay if they think that you can get you a piece from these Black girls. If you think, I've heard several Black men and other guys, you know, suggest that, you know, maybe they can get a lesbian to go home with them or something like that. And that's a thing. It's a notch on the belt that they want to do. Transgender girls are the same way. They're notches on the belt. And that's the only thing that they're looked at. Lesbian and LGBTQ plus people are only looked at as sex objects. We're not looked at as human beings. And then especially, like I said, when it comes to the Black community, these are your own people that you're out here hurting. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like I said, we have enough white people out here that are hurting us. And then we have to deal with our own. You know, it's kind of sad because these same Black people that are hurting the LGBTQ plus community and hurt these 2 girls, they're the same people that will talk about these 2 girls in front of a group of white people. That's the issue. That is the whole problem. It's not, it's like I said before, the whole Dave Chappelle thing, he wouldn't have said that if he had more respect for his people, being honest. Like I said, even in the LGBTQ plus community, we know that the trans community and Black transgenders and Black lesbians and the Black community, the Black LGBT community is being threatened. We're being killed. We're being hung up. We're being chased down. And we don't even have our own people to protect us because they're on the sidelines with the white people making fun of us.
Kasha McDonald is my guest on Our Voices. Kasha, so there's been an uprising in attacks and deaths in within the Black LBGTQ community and transgender community. How is it here in West Virginia?
I don't know. I guess, like I said, a lot of the, well, there was a transgender girl that was evidently got beat up in the at the gas station or got in a fight with someone at the gas station. From what I heard, I've seen a video that was going around online, and it was just the things that this Black man was saying, and the things that he was saying to her, and it was just so disrespectful. There's so many different things that Black people don't understand and that people in general don't understand about transgendered women. They don't understand the fact that when you decide to be transgender, you take things that are called T blockers, which block all the testosterone and the manliness that you have, which makes all your body things softer. And you get injected with a thing called estrogen. So when you have estrogen going in one way and testosterone going out, it is a whole completely different thing. You're not the man that you once was. And soon, after plenty of time and years, you will never be. You will be feminine. You will be a woman. For most part, all of us transgender women, we feel that way. But for our Black community and these other people in the community to not understand us and to automatically assume that these are still guys or whatnot, or woo, it's respect. You respect every woman that walks in the door, but you can't respect a transgender woman. It's this disrespect that we have for our own people that is killing us. And it's our own people that are killing us. It's not the white people out here that are killing us. It's Black on Black crime. And that's sad.
Is there racism within the LBGTQ, I gotta say it right. I'm gonna get it right, okay? Is there racism within the LBGTQ plus community and transgender community?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, everybody thinks that everybody has it easier. When we all know that Black people don't have it easy at all. And we don't, it's a lot of people are saying that we're tired of hearing about Black people. We're tired of hearing about Black people don't have this. We're tired of that. But it's like, we're tired of saying it. When it comes to the transgendered women are so far pushed back in the LGBTQ plus community. Unless it's Halloween and everybody wants to dress up like a girl or a drag queen, but we're pushed back. And then if the transgender community is pushed back, you can only imagine where the Black transgender community is at. We're completely pushed back. And we're the first people to start everything. We threw the first brick. We started the first march. We started everything. The Black transgender woman started everything. We started all of this civil rights, everything. Let me rephrase that. Black and people of color started all of this. And if it wasn't for Black people and Black transgender women and people of color to start fighting for LGBTQ plus rights, we would not have the rights that we have today. And we are the ones that are looked at less. Ask me how come we haven't had a Black entertainer for Rainbow Pride of West Virginia. Lord knows I love him. Lord knows I love everybody that works for Rainbow Pride of West Virginia. But I've told them plenty of times and time again, hey, we need some representation. And then I'm tired of being the only one that you put down. That kind of makes me feel like the token.
Oh.
Yes.
Ooh.
So, it's I love hard, I fight hard, and I stand up for what I believe in. But one thing that my grandparents always taught me is to not let anyone disrespect you. And so for me, I'm fine. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have no makeup on today, so this is my day. But when I do have makeup on, I'm sickening. And the fellas out here, I have a lot of confidence in myself. So, but I'll walk out the store every day and not have one problem. And guys will hit on me left and right and ask me out or whatnot. But when they find out that I'm trans, they get mad. Well, why didn't you tell me you was trans? Well, why didn't you tell me you was straight? It's like,
okay.
So I mean, we have to be better. We have to do better. All communities have to do better.
So when it comes to the art of, not I was in the art, but the point of where you meet, and I think when you say like you said just now, why didn't you tell me you're transgender? Does that then spark the violent stage?
Well, sometimes it does. Sometimes it can. And then depending on what time of the day it is. Because if it's at daytime and you're in front of the friends, then it's an issue. But if it's at nighttime and ain't nobody around, it's a whole complete nother issue.
I guess you say what's done in the dark will come to light.
Thank you.
Like Tyler Perry.
I'm just saying, and it is what it is. Like I said, I've never messed with the gay boy.
Okay. Kasha, did Black folks ever do anything? Well, when I say Black folks, I'm talking about the LBGTQ plus community and transgender community. Did Black folks do anything to create a disconnect between the white community from the Black community? Did Black folks do anything?
No, just like the Black people in regular society trying to fight to get in. That's exactly what you do in the LGBTQ plus community. You fight to get in. I mean, I'm grateful that I have made a liking for me here in this community. But please believe, there's a whole lot of people. I just made a comment the other day. I have a whole lot of people from the LGBTQ plus community that are on my page that will not like, love, care, thumbs up, comment, or nothing on my page. Nothing. And then I made a comment. Why are you on my page? I made a whole complete new different page. You sent me a friend request, but you don't like anything. And that's how it is. There's a sense of, I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't like to say that. My mom would always say, baby, it's because they're jealous of you. Mama, why would they be jealous of me? I ain't nobody. I am not nobody. I ain't got nothing. I do what I do. I make my stuff from scratch. I take care of me. I value every penny that I make. But why would they be jealous of me? But for some strange reason, that's what my mother tends to lean on. They're jealous of you, baby. Well, maybe that might be it. I don't know. They see some kind of spark and shine in me or in other people of color that they don't want other people to see. But there's a division in the LGBTQ plus community with people of color and trans. Yes. Oh my goodness, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible.
You made a comment. You said Black folks had to fight to get in.
Mhm.
Elaborate on that.
We have to fight. We have to fight every day to get looked at and recognized as not necessarily the same as somebody, but just as important. Um, you know, like I was telling my boo the other day that there's a certain bunch of rules that Black parents tell their children when they walk out the door every day. Just so happened in 2020 here, in the last 4 or 5 years, we've had a couple of extra harsh ones that we've had to put out there. But I'm sure you've had the same ones that I've had. Don't you show up out here in front of these white people. Don't you act up. Don't you put your hands on nothing. Don't take nothing that don't belong to you. All these wonderful things that I was taught to, because it was to make sure that white people didn't look at us as as whatever they was told by their ancestors that we were. So yeah, we have to fight.
I see what you're saying, as far as because of what other folks perceive us to be.
Mm-hmm.
As a father, I tell my son, don't do this or don't do that because it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what it is, it's wrong. And the thing is, because when again, as a father, when you mess up, that's a reflection of me.
It's actually a reflection of both parents. See, that's the thing. That's both
right.
parents.
And the thing is,
that's that talk that we're trying to get away from in the LGBTQ plus community.
And see, and look here, I worked hard,
Mm-hmm.
I worked hard to get where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I understand what you're saying. I'm not knocking down what you're saying. And again, I know where you're coming from. I know, I understand. It's just so interesting, again, as far as the fight to get in from your perspective. I know, as again, as a Black man, yes, I have fights also.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to keep on fighting. We're going to keep on fighting.
We're going to keep fighting.
Kasha.
Yeah.
What other backlash have the Black, LBGTQ plus and transgender communities have faced?
As in, what do you mean? Like, as in trying to get jobs, different things like that?
Right, things like that, yes.
Well, for the most part, like, it's hard for transgender people to get jobs in West Virginia. And it's actually harder for trans women, male to female, to get a job than it is for a female to male transgender. And that's because in their eyes, female to male is still a lesbian. And a male to female is still, in their eyes, a gay man. So it's very easy, like I said, for lesbians to get jobs and transgender men to get jobs. But when it comes to transgendered women, it's not the ticket. There's always this excuse. We're trying to protect you, or we're trying to make sure that nothing happens to you, or we're trying to save you or something like that. But it's just like anything else. If we need your protection or something, we'll ask for it. If we need, I went without a job for 2 years because based off of the fact that I was transgender. And before that, I had jobs everywhere. I kept 3 or 4 jobs. When I was 16 years old, I had 4 jobs, and I kept 4 jobs up until I was 20-some years old. So I've never had a problem working until I decided to become transgender and come out as transgender. So it's hard. And like I said, it's not hard for the LGBTQ plus. And when I say LGBT, let's take out the T, because like I said, we're even looked at badly from our own people. They don't fight for us like they should.
When you talk about the T, is it safe to say that companies or employers don't want to hire because when you talk about a job, you're talking about benefits. And when we talk about benefits, we are talking about medical stuff, which will cost the employer money. Do you feel that they don't want you, they frown upon because it will cost them money?
No, because at the end of the day, you're going to pay for the same benefits if it was just a regular woman who was having a cis woman who was having a birth pregnancy benefits or something like that. We're not asking people to give us the sex change. We're not asking anybody to pay for our jobs or anything like that, anatomy changes. We're not asking for that. We're asking for the same darn health care that everybody else is asking for, the same health care that is afforded to you and is afforded to your wife. We want the same health care for me and my husband and his wife. So, I mean, it's this, oh, we can't do, it's so sad that we got to go this route, especially with Black people. And certain people, because it's like, we know how people talk to us, and we need to quit acting like just because we get a seat at the table, or that just because you have white friends, or just because we're allowed to walk down the street now, that everything is okay, because it's not. I'm younger than a lot of these people out here, older adults that are not fighting. That I get so frustrated with this comfortability.
Well, look, hey, Kasha. Welcome to our voices. So express yourself, go right ahead.
I'm tired of the comfortability that we have as a people. I'm tired of people feeling like we're so comfortable that, like I said, we're allowed to date white people now. So do you think our struggle is over? No, it's not. First of all, we have a struggle within our own people. Like our mamas and my parents used to say, I don't know about yours, but I know my grandparents used to say, clean up your own house before you go out here trying to clean up somebody else's. And that's the problem with our community, is that we can't clean up our own house. In the LGBTQ plus community, we don't clean up our house. Especially in the Black community, we don't clean up our own house. But we have the audacity to talk about what the white man has done to us that is wrong. But those are the first people whose butts that we go around kissing. Not I, but a few of us out here that I know do. Have you ever had people, you talk so well. So when did me talking white equate to me talking right? I mean, like, come on. I don't have to talk like you. We're all individuals. The same big man upstairs that everyone talks about. It's kind of funny that, when you decide to come out as LGBTQ plus, that we're not God's children. So let's remember one thing. God is always going to be older than us. So we will always be his children. All of us. Every last one of us. And we need to take heed and note to this, because everybody's going to have to answer to him one day. And he's going to ask you, instead of, did you help your fellow sister? Well, she wasn't a sister. She was coming. I didn't ask you that. Did you help her? Well, she wasn't this and that. And I didn't ask you that. Did you help her? And I know that at the end of the day, my conscience is going to be good because I help everyone, even if you don't like me. I worked at the Multifest this year, and to watch my people embarrass me in front of a group of table of white people that I was working with was one of the most embarrassing things that I ever had to endure from my own people. My own people. I'm the only one at this table full of white women, and I'm the only black one. And my people, a man comes by and he's like, and discuss with me. And I just smiled, and the lady was like, honey, don't, please, baby, you don't have to apologize for him. That's what I'm here for, to open up people's eyes like that. It's time. Lawrence Fishburne said a long time ago in Higher Learning, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Kasha, when you talk about the racism factor between the blacks and whites, you stated earlier that we need to clean our house first.
Mm-hmm.
Could that be a reason why maybe whites and blacks within the LBGTQ community and transgender community don't come together? Is it because maybe our house isn't cleaned up? You know, just
yeah. Oh, that's definite. That is definitely the reason. Yes, that is definitely the reason. That is definitely the reason. Give me 1 second. Oh, so sorry. I had someone knocking on my door. But that is the reason, because the black community, we do not stick together. We always want to sit here and act like, you know, like we're always fighting. We started with, you know, light-skinned blacks versus dark-skinned blacks, and then the LGBTQ plus versus the non, you know, and then men versus women. And it's like, you seen how together we were when Black Panther came out? Every black person in America came together. They were so happy to see Wakanda. We will never have a Wakanda as long as we are the way we are.
Kasha, I think that when it comes to, well, I'll bring up something a little bit more current.
Okay.
As far as us coming together, black folks coming together. The 2020 election.
We didn't come together.
Yeah, we did.
No, yeah, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
Do you not see how many black Republicans was out there knocking every step that we went to? How many black Republicans? I watched Fox News. Actually, I was a guest on Mark Eberling's Republican Network. Yes, I was. And I had to defend black people in West Virginia because the black people across the world was knocking us. Okay.
Now, here's what we'll push back right here.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Kasha, think about this right here. Former President Donald Trump says he won a recall in 4 areas: Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Atlanta. That's 3 right there.
But who had the power in all those places?
Right, I believe the other one was Detroit. But here's what I'm saying. Those 4 areas that he was trying to get votes in, you know, trying to get to overturn, those are majority black. Yeah. Okay. Here's another thing right here. I'll go back just a little bit before. In 2018, Joe Manchin versus Patrick Morrisey. If it wasn't for us, I know, Morrisey would have been elected. But what I'm saying is, I understand what you're saying. You know, and there are times and there are certain things that will bring us together. Are we farther apart as a race now? I think we are. I don't know. I think we are. I think we are, just for the fact that, like I said, we're too comfortable with the scraps that we've been given. Our slave and ancestors would never
be acceptable. It'd be accepted. Harriet Tubman would slap the tar out of some people right now to this day for the way that they act. I'm just being honest. Sojourner Truth would smack the tar out of some people. Martin Luther King would look at people like, have you lost your love and mind? This is not what I was talking about. This is not what I was talking about.
Well, well, I understand. To that aspect, well, to a certain aspect, I see what you're saying. I think now, because we're in the 21st century, we have, okay, let's take Obama.
Okay.
Let's take Obama. Has he done anything for Black folks?
Yeah.
What?
He has. Made a representation, and that's what we need first. See, you got to have representation first. We didn't ever have any representation except for the first Black man who was a president that they did not let us know about, the little Black man that was in the back of the dollar bill and the signing of the Declaration of Independence, a little Black man in the corner. Can't think of his name quite yet, but representation is what we need first and foremost. Obama might have not done everything or this, that, and the other, but his face and his representation did a lot for our people, because if it wasn't, he would not have been in office and all the Black people would have never came out.
And what has he done for Black folks?
Per se, like, Obamacare, there's a lot of people that didn't have any health care, and he did Obamacare, which was wonderful. There's a lot of things that he did with the healthcare system and housing and all of that. He did a lot with that for a lot of people that couldn't get it. He made a lot of things easier for the LGBTQ plus community as well. He did a lot of different things for women's rights. He recognized a lot of Black people who would have never been recognized before in their whole entire life. He recognized a whole lot of African-American people who are very influential in the African-American community. So when you ask me what Obama did, he did a lot for the Black community, a lot more than some of these other Black people done, except for shaking hands.
Now, true. Now.
And what did other presidents do for policies? What did all these other presidents do? When you talk about, see, I get offended when people talk about
hey, we can have this discussion for another day. Oh yeah, we can go into that. That's not a problem. And I mean, when it comes to politics, I can rock with the best.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, we have gotten comfortable. We have gotten in our comfort zone as Black folks. In some way, shape, or form, we have gotten in our comfort zone, and I think that's where that cohesion kind of just drifted apart. But hopefully, this message here, hopefully, it will open eyes, and maybe you come to the table and create a dialogue. Kasha,
yes.
Have you reached out to the white LBGTQ plus community and transgender communities for reconciliation?
I mean, I always talk to them. I'm a very blunt person within my community. So, and I have a very big platform on Facebook. I had such a platform that I actually had to delete that platform and get a new platform because there was getting a lot of hackers and all that crazy stuff. So I have Kasha Carmichael has a very large platform, and I use it everywhere, from here to Texas, from Texas to Chicago, from Chicago to California, from California to Savannah. I've been all over promoting LGBTQ plus rights, Black transgender rights. But here in West Virginia, I've talked to them. It's just they have their favorites, and I'm grateful that I'm one of some people's favorites, but it is what it is. It's like fighting to get people to recognize us. And we want to do a Black Pride here in Charleston, West Virginia. We want to have one just like they do in Florida and Texas and all these other places. But we can't even get Black companies and businesses to support us.
You say you cannot get Black companies to support.
And don't ask me if we have tried. Yes, we have several times. I don't want to call nobody out. on here because I would, but I ain't going to.
No, we're not gonna name drop. No, we're not. We're not gonna name drop.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Don't name drop, but if I were to name drop, maybe that would open up some people's eyes. And that's what we're doing. Always being careful, always being comfortable, but making sure that we keep everybody together. But when it comes to us, nobody's comfortable. Nobody's, making sure they don't name drop. But we have to always be that person. We're tired of it. We're tired of having to wait our turn. We're tired of having to, don't say that because you might offend somebody. Do they care about offending us?
Well, you know what?
Black people been told to turn
okay, I was out of step on that right there. I see what you're saying. So if you want your name drop, go ahead.
No, I said no. I said I'm not going to because I could.
Okay.
That's the type of person that I'm trying to be, is a better person and not go out here and do to them what they do to me.
Okay, my apologies. My apologies.
Have them do unto you.
My apologies.
No need to apologize. This is your thing, and we're having a wonderful time talking, and I like this talk. Because if you don't know, now you know. And when you know better, you do better.
All right. Kasha.
Yes.
What would you like for the white LBGTQ plus community and the transgender communities? What would you like for them to do?
See us. See us. Don't say that you see us and then not realize that there's more than just me. See us, make us feel welcome. I know they, how to say this. I know they make me feel welcome, and I know they make us feel welcome in so many aspects. But like I try to explain to them, and like I just said to you, when you see representation of yourself somewhere, it makes you feel like somebody cares. If we would have never had representation of Obama, we would have still said that this America does not care, but we do. So what we need is to see representation of the transgender community. We need to see representation of the Black community in the LGBTQ plus community. And not only do we need to see that, we need to see the LGBTQ plus community, being Black people, being represented in the Black community. Because every one of us have a cousin, uncle, brother, somebody in the family that is gay. Someone. I don't know if you know, but you might want to look at the trees, because we all got one somewhere, or someone that is struggling with not being able to come out because of what it might do to them, or how Black people disown each other so quickly. Yeah, I say it all. I don't spare feelings.
Okay. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. One last, I have 2 more questions.
Okay.
What would be a good solution for unity between Blacks and whites and the LBGTQ community? What would be a good solution?
Okay, this is my idea. So my idea is that I think that we should, the bigger platforms that, like, say for instance, all these rappers or whatever, that people like Woody Wood. I'm going to name drop Woody Wood because I love me some Woody Wood. Duke Jordan. Love me some Duke. Duke is amazing. Sheila Lethbridge. When you have these people that are well known within the community, amongst a lot of different people in the community, you should use your platform to make other African Americans realize who we are as a LGBTQ community. You need to use your platforms like you guys are doing, like you just did today, and make it knowledgeable that we're just people, just like everybody else. We have to remember that we as a Black community fought for people to see us as just people. So why is it so difficult for us to see the LGBTQ plus community as just people? I don't get that. It's a very, 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 very crazy thing. I don't understand. I don't understand why our people can't just. I miss going to Black things. And I say that like I miss going to multi-festas and I miss going to community barbecues. But I don't like going to those things where you look like you're always going to be the one they're talking about. And 9 times out of 10, you are. And it's just because you're gay. And then 9 times out of 10, like I said earlier, I can look over across the field at these Black communities and see 7 or 8 Black people that are closeted. But we would never do that and tell that business. We're not that type of people. But it's okay to sleep with the LGBTQ plus person, but it's not okay to be a friend to them out in public. We have to do better as a people. We have to use our platforms to let people know that we're okay. Because like I said, at the end of the day, we are Black first. We're Black first. People see us as Black first. You would see people down the street, and if I was walking down the street, you would never know that I was transgender until you probably talked or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, you don't even know then. But we have to do better about being better. We're people first.
Because what a lot of people see is this first.
Yes, even from anybody, from you, they don't see your age, they don't see your profession, they don't know your sexual orientation. Only thing they see from you when they first see you is that you are a Black person, because they don't know if you are a Black man. They don't know if you are a Black transgendered man. Because please believe, I have Black transgender sisters and Black transgender brothers. I got a Black transgender brother that looks similar to you right now. I'm saying. So, okay. At the end of the day, we have to just be better about loving our people. And then once we start loving our people, ourselves, then we will be allowed to let other people love us.
Have you reached out to Multifest?
Yeah, I reached out to Multifest. I live in an apartment right now where one of the presidents of Multifest runs it. I worked at Multifest with West Virginia Free, like I said there, and I talked to a couple of people that came back and forth. Now, I haven't reached out to them since the last time, but even then, when we were working with Multifest, they put us all the way at the end. If you went to Multifest this year, you would have saw us.
I was out of town that weekend.
They put the LGBTQ plus community in West Virginia, West Virginia Free. They put us all the way at the end of the thing, instead of the middle, instead of mixed us in there somewhere. They put us all the way at the end.
Okay.
And now the people, we would have been mad if the regatta pushed us at the end. We'd have been all up in arms, cussing out, telling people how racist it was, this, woo. But then when it comes to us, this is how they do us. And when it comes to their own people, they mock us and they make fun of me in front of other people. So wake up, Black people, clean up our own house first before we start trying to clean up other things, because our house has not been cleaned for quite some time.
Ooh. Okay. Now we come to one more question. One more question. You said LBGTQ plus. What is the plus?
Plus is for all those other names that aren't mentioned. See, you're asking me, and I am one of those people that stopped at LGBTQ plus because I don't like getting them wrong. So there's a lot of different pronouns and different names that a lot of people address themselves as. And plus includes them all, because there's just so many different pronouns and different things that people go by nowadays. Names given at birth, and that's a whole different. It's a whole different thing. It's like if you stop and think about a lot of different things, like honestly, because my mother is deep into church, and I've had to talk to her about a couple of these things, and I'm like, Mom, some of the things that I went to school and learned, because I was a history major. they not coincide with what is in the Bible. Something is wrong here. Why am I doing this? So it's like at the end of the day, like there's a lot of different things, names that people go by because they don't want to offend anybody. So the plus is there to make sure that you don't. And I'm sure you can look it up though, and you'll find a whole list of names. And I tell them all the time, look, I paved the way for y'all little kids. So don't y'all come at me with none of that.
Okay. I'm done.
Oh, Ray, you're amazing.
I'll try my best. Thank you. I'll try my best.
You did.
But before I go, I give my guests one final minute to speak. Say what's on your mind. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
And go.
Hi, you guys. I'm Kasha Carmichael. You can catch me at Lee Street Lounge every Friday, not this Friday, but maybe the Fridays after that. But please make sure you come out and check me out. Make sure you come and be a part of Rainbow Pride of West Virginia. And make sure you notice people, our people, we are this first. Remember what we fought for, and remember how hard it was for us to fight to get where we are today, to where it was so easy for us to be able to sit on a bus and not have to sit in the back, for where we can sit in the table somewhere and not have to, be sit in a blacks only section, for us to walk down the street and look at other people of other nationalities and not get killed or anything like that. Look at how far we've come. Now think about what we're doing to the other people, to the LGBTQ plus community. Think about what we're doing to our own community. Think about what we're doing to our people. And so my last thing that I have to say to everybody out here in this world is wake up. Wake up. Please wake up before it's too late, because they're going to get us. They're going to get us. Wake up.
Kasha, Snyder, McDonald. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ray.
Come on, our voices. You take care, okay?
Thank you.
Hold on for a second.